Hi, I'm Dr. Carl Knox. I'm the saxophone professor at Central Connecticut State University, where I also function as Director of Jazz Studies. I'm here today to talk to you about the 2017 Connecticut Regional Auditions for the saxophone, specifically for jazz saxophone. As in years past, the audition is separated into three sections: a prepared etude, an improvisation, and then there'll be sight reading. As in past years again, the etude is from the Lenny Niehaus book, Advanced Jazz Conception for Saxophone. For tenor this year, it's etude number 4. Some of your books may have come with a play-along CD. Mine did not, but I have obtained a copy of it. And I'd like to perform the etude really three ways for you today. The first way will be with the play-along, so that you can hear the harmony of the tune, hear what the tune is supposed to sound like. Because when Lenny Niehaus writes these etudes, they're really tunes. They're really short improvisations based on a tune of sorts. So I'd like for you to be able to hear that. Now, your CD likely came only with an alto accompaniment. So I had to pitch change the backing track so that it would work for tenor. Otherwise, you don't want to play them, a perfect fourth or fifth apart. So I have pitch changed this, but at least you can get to hear the etude with the backing track. So this is etude number 4. The CD accompaniment is at about 142 to 145, so it's a bit slower than the required tempo on the CMEA website. So I'll play it for you with the track, I'll play it for you without the track, and then I'll play it for you the intended tempo, at least the beginning of it, so you can hear what that will be. So this is the etude number 4 by Lenny Niehaus for tenor saxophone.
Etude number 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Now I'm going to play the etude at the same tempo without the accompaniment. So it's very important when you're practicing these etudes to play them slowly. So I would strongly suggest you practice around that slower tempo, 142, 145. However, CMEA suggests on their website that this etude be taken at, I think, between 176 and 182. Here's 176. So I'm going to play the first few lines of the etude at that tempo. And the reason I'm not going to play the entire etude is that I don't want you to practice with me playing it at that tempo. I want you to practice it at the slower tempo and trust that your practicing will result in you being able to perform it at a faster tempo right before the audition. I think the audition dates for Northern Audition, for Northern Region, they're November 4th. For Southern and Eastern Region, they're November 18th, and the Western Region is November 11th. So you have a little bit of time in which to prepare these. So I would strongly suggest you do them at the slower tempo. So once again, 176. So that was the first 4 lines of the etude. Now regarding these etudes for both jazz, tenor, and alto saxophone, there isn't a lot of information for you other than articulation information. There's no dynamic information. So I strongly suggest you play them as musically as possible. Try to make a song out of them. Make them sound like they're someone's solo. If you just play them sort of generically all at the same tempo with proper articulation and you know, with the slurs and the house stop accents correctly played, it'll sound okay, but it won't sound dynamic. It won't sound expressive. So you need to put some of your own expression into it, and that's the only place you can do it in this particular etude. Now I'm going to move to the improvisation section of the audition. As in past years, you'll be playing with Jamie Aebersold's Volume 2, Nothing But Blues, and in this case it's fast blues in F. Make sure that this is your opportunity to really show the judges, you know, what you can do. So make sure you play expressively, you play emotionally. Don't play stupidly. Don't just screech and squawk on the saxophone and think that that will be impressive. But if you've got jazz chops, then you'll likely already know that. So this is where you want to show them off. As in past years, you'll play 6 times. The first time will be the melody, the first chorus, and then 4 choruses of improvisation, and then the last chorus will be the melody again. So this is fast blues in F.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, we've moved to the alto saxophone now. The etude this year is out of the same book, Advanced Jazz Conception for Saxophone. It happens to be etude number 8. The indicated tempo on the CMEA website is 152-ish. The recording, the CD accompaniment recording is at about 147, so it's close enough that I think we don't need to record this one twice as we did the tenor one. So I'll play it with the background, I'll play it without the background, and then we'll move on to the improvisation for alto. This etude has a kind of slightly different component to it, as it starts with swing, moderate swing, and then it moves to a ballad section. And it's very important that in the ballad section you don't swing the eighth notes, that you play them straight. It's sort of the proper way to play a ballad. So in other words, when we get to the ballad section, which is the bottom line of the first page, and that you don't go, make sure you play them with a straight feel. It's still a jazz etude, you still play with proper jazz phrasing, jazz articulation, but you don't swing the eighth notes. Okay, so this is etude number 8, Lenny Niehaus Advanced Jazz Conception.
Etude number 8. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
All right, now I'm going to play the etude without the accompaniment. I'm going to play it at the same tempo, which will be very close to the tempo that you should play it. If you noticed, when I played with the accompaniment, I missed the cue to get back to the DS. I missed the 3 pickup notes, so that sometimes happens. I was trying to pick up the cue from the recording, and I just missed it. So because you won't be listening for that, and I won't be listening for that this time, I'll make sure and play them this time for you. Okay, now I'm going to move to the improvisation section for the alto. Same tune as the tenor. Volume 2, Nothing But Blues, Fast Blues in F. And the same considerations, 1 chorus of melody, 4 choruses of improvisation, and then 1 chorus of melody again. And again, let yourself go, play freely, try to play expressively, play the changes, and just do your best and be as relaxed as you can.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, so that concludes the playing section of the video, both for tenor and alto. And also, if you're playing baritone, you can mimic the alto. They're the exact same pieces, exact same key, so you ought to be able to do that. Let me talk for a brief moment about the sight reading. There's not a whole lot I can say because I don't know what it will be. I never know what it will be. But it's usually pretty difficult. The first thing I look at is I look at the time signature and think, all right, are we in 4/4, are we in 3/4, are we in 2/4, are we in 6/8, are we in 7/8, are we in 5/8, are we in 5/4? You have to look at the time signature and be clear about that and make sure it doesn't change. Often the sight reading is very short, maybe 16 bars. Sometimes it's longer and it's a section of a transcription or something like that, so it just depends on what it'll be. But look at the time signature. Then look at the key signature. Often you're in many sharps or many flats, so see if that changes along the way. It may be in C sharp and then go to the key of C. So you look for all of those accidentals and those naturals, canceling out that key signature. So as you're looking through the measures of the piece, look for accidentals, look for double sharps, double flats, naturals. Make sure you carry any accidentals through an entire measure. Those kinds of things are things that musicians often miss, so be aware of those. Be aware of the tempo. The indicated tempo, it'll usually say at least some sort of indication like fast, medium fast, moderate, slow. So pay attention to that and don't try to play it too quickly. You won't be penalized nearly as much for a mistaken tempo, a slight mistaken tempo, not a drastic mistake. If it says, fast, presto, fast speed, and you take it really slowly, then obviously that will be a problem. But if you're close to the indicated tempo, I would take it on the slow side if I can. And then mentally prepare. Look at the first few measures and try to mentally prepare for those so that you get into the sight reading as comfortably as possible. Often if you get a good start, it will lead to success throughout the rest of the sight reading, so be very careful about that. Look at the first few measures. And then take the maximum amount of time. If they give you a minute, I don't know, I don't remember how long they give you, but I think it's a minute. It might be 2, it might be 30 seconds, but whatever they give you, take the fully allotted amount of time and look over the piece. If you've gone all the way through it and you feel comfortable, go again. Look at the beginning. Look at the first few measures. Try to get a mental start. You're not allowed to play, so don't play a note, but you can certainly look at it and prepare yourself as adequately as you can. And remember that everyone is going to make mistakes. The sight reading, if it's difficult enough, it ought to be, students will make mistakes. No one will play it perfectly. So don't let those mistakes hamper you. Don't let them throw you, and please don't stop. If you make a big blunder, just keep going. Okay? Everyone's going to make mistakes, so be aware of that. I wish you the best of luck. I hope you have a successful audition for the 2017 Connecticut Regionals. And again, good luck. Thank you.